Hey there. Hey there, friends. Welcome. Welcome to Building 7, as I like to call it. If you don't know that reference, might I suggest looking it up? It's definitely a dated one. It's a dated one now. I assume that the 2000s were just around the corner, but that was over 20 years ago. My goodness. It almost makes you think about the spirit of truth, right? The spirit of truth. That's what it makes me feel like. As a matter of fact, if there's one person that's an expert on the spirit of truth and terrible segues, it's Reverend X. Reverend X. Let's see if I could show you what I'm talking about here. Reverend X, a one-man show, The Spirit of Truth. Hopefully this doesn't have copyrighted music. I didn't vet this beforehand.
I'm God.
There you go.
You ain't God. Stupid bitch.
I'm feeling the salvation. Let me skip that. That sounds like too much music.
How the fuck you tell me to watch my language? Ain't no fucking child. Bitch, get off the phone. Go tell your children watch they fucking language.
Reverend X, The Spirit of Truth. That man's my hero. I think he's dead now, honestly. I think he seems to have passed away. You can't live a life like that for long without something happening to you. I remember first time I saw him was dancing to the song. Let's see. I'm trying to go back in my my high school peaking. Reverend X, Mystical. Here I Go. There you go. That took way too long. That's a car crash. That took way too long. Here I Go by Mystical. Him doing a rendition of that. I wish I could show you, but unfortunately I feel like I'd get hit by the copyright gods. A good thing in a shitty day. I don't know what shitty day you're talking about here in sunny South Florida. It's never a shitty day. It's always an overbearing hot day that I'm sure people would love to fantasize living in. Not really. Not really. It's not a fun place, especially when it comes to rent prices. My goodness. And people moving from other places, and now that being a constant battle that we deal with. Thank God you're here. We have Oxymoron here. This motherfucker is still holding on to his YouTube dreams. Thank you for that. Good to see you as well. Mystical on sexual assault charges again. Is he busted? Did they cap him? Is Mystical capped? I'm not sure. I don't keep up with that particular news anymore. I feel like my knowledge of that used to be via WorldStar, but WorldStar's changed. WorldStar's changed. It used to be a fun place where you would watch fight comps. Now it's gotten too serious. It's no longer fun. I don't know what. Well, welcome. I guess it's a Friday. I guess we should start the shenanigans. That is the PigCast. Welcome to the show. As I've mentioned before, I want to try doing a live stream every day. So far, I've kept that promise, streaming here and on Twitch concurrently. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on much longer, to be honest. I'm not feeling it. I like the once a week streams. I might upgrade, however, to 2 times and maybe 3 times a week. But doing every day is a little bit of a pain. Not because there's a shortage of topics, but because I feel like my day's wrapped around a single stream. I have to figure things out to talk about. I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather work on more productive things, like maybe the PigCake Magic Academy. Look at that. Speaking of which, we have a Reddit post that we're going to go through today as to the ire and anger of virgin magicians. That's one of the things that I want to go through. I've been having a subpar day, says Red Dead. Maybe it's because your channel name is that of a video game. I'm not a fan of video games. I think I might be alone in this opinion of not enjoying them or not seeing the value of them. I know a lot of people defend them to the death, and they say, no, it's a great way to socialize with others because they're socializing through the game. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I'll play one once a year, as I've mentioned before. But to get ingrained and to commit and to take time from other more important things to dedicate to this, I feel like it's not a good use of your time. Then again, what really is a use of your time? We're here for a limited amount of time, and I've chosen this. I've chosen this as a use of my time, and you've chosen this as a use of your time. So we're not really one to judge here. Damn it, Piggy. We've been over this. Red Dead is the friend of my old pet raccoon. I'm sorry I forgot that. I probably repressed that. along with many different distinctive memories of Uncle Touching. But there are a couple things that I guess I want to go through. The first thing is this post that I found on Reddit. I'm sure I already know who it is that made this. Wow, Reverend X is loud. But this is in regards to the blog that I keep shilling. My favorite magic blog or mentalist blog. I keep shilling this. This is deep in virginity, by the way. I apologize for how deep we're going into virginity, how quickly in this particular live stream, but I guess it's relevant. Let me see if I could zoom this in. This is how I have to zoom this in so I could look at it. That's how terrible my eyesight's gotten. These nuts. But so somebody made a post here referencing this blog that I keep talking about, right? The Oracle, the Mind Oracle, that Blogspot. Obviously, this person seems to be a boomer for still using Blogspot. But you know what? It's not the medium, it's the content. And to me, the content's worth it. I've mentioned this before. Let me see if I could load this here. But this one is in regards to things that magicians shouldn't have on them, things that magicians shouldn't have. I made a video on this. I got some flack for the SpongeBob lovers. I don't think anybody's left a comment on this one. But somebody has gone through the trouble of posting this on Reddit to see what the hive mind at Reddit has to say. And oh boy, is it a lot of magic virginity. It's dick deep in magic virginity, if you would. There's a lot of people here that talk about the Omni deck and defending that and going against his post. You can't argue that it's a very well-written article. And the bits and byplay and the banter is tremendous. I don't think you could argue with that. But some people obviously have a point against his takes on the Omni deck and sponge balls and things like that. I agree, a fake aged cards look suspicious, but what's bad about the Omni deck? Says it's bad, but can't explain why. To be honest, this article was terrible and seems like a magician that is mad that others are successful with such props. I think that's a very big stretch, especially, actually, never mind. It's not a stretch from a person whose username is Die Cardman. Jesus Christ. I can't think of anything more virgin-y. Let's see, who actually cares if you use a coin pouch? No one on earth. I care. That's someone on earth. I care. Let's see. I hate Reddit's thing here if you're not signed in. Yeah, I've gotten some of the best reactions from a well-timed Omni deck. Gross. I do get the idea of not wanting to produce things that are obviously special magic props, but yeah, plenty of people do that with no problems, but it's a style preference thing, which at the end of the day, I feel like it's his point, right? You're trying to have somewhat of a modicum of rationality when it comes to your performances, and taking out this weird thing, which is a deck that if somebody puts the card on top of the deck, they'll just go, oh, that's how it's done. Okay, it's just a card on top of this piece of plastic that you carry on you. Be better. I can't do the transition to Michelle Obama and Oprah saying to be better from this screen, but imagine it. Imagine it right now. Joshua J's Omni deck, I think, is the better one, though I get why some people might be put off by some things. I heard a lecture by Eugene Berger, Jesus Christ, on how he constantly went back and forth on the idea of performing sponge balls. Okay. Let's see. There's one here that I was particularly laughing at. Why bother posting such a crappy magic blog if it's not yours? The Omni deck mention was completely misguided. Probably your blog. So we have some detective work here, which is untrue. The post coincided with your Reddit post. No wonder you use a throwaway account. So a lot of armchair detective work from this individual, Strange Alternative. I always like looking at their karma and all the other stuff. It tells me a lot about the individual. That would be a great theory, except I totally disagree with this blogger when he asserts that you should always be trying to make your performances as believable as possible. And I've performed many paid gigs, just a lot of casual stuff. Whereas he is a fairly known performer, according to PigCake Rodriguez. Hey, that's me. Hey, look at that. That's me right there. That's this guy. 2 thumbs and loves BJs. Hetero BJs. I don't care to argue further. If you think we're the same person, the only reason this is labeled throwaway is because I don't want a magic trick discussion on my main account. This guy's based. This is a based account. 96 throwaway 69. I feel like I know who that is. But here we have another defender of the Omni deck. But the virginity is boiling here, my friends. The virginity is boiling. Other magicians can justify, yeah, some magicians don't rightly exist in the real world, but sometimes magicians can use them in a way that spectators will enjoy the moment of entertainment. The next thing Mind Oracle will complain about will be arguing, showing skill as a detriment to the performer, because then it will know okay, all right. I think Homeboy over here is making the classic straw man argument, but when it comes to this point, you want to have that suspension of disbelief, right? That's what you want to have. And in order to do that, you want to be as believable and realistic as possible. So it's understood that what you're watching is a performance, is not real magic. When it's mentalism, it's different, right? When it's mentalism, it's different because you're on the fringe. You're on the fringe there. It's on the air of plausibility. It could potentially be true if you play it up in a certain way. Obviously, magic tricks, people know what's going on, right? But you could suspend that disbelief by being more realistic. And if you take your cards out of a card clip with your name on it, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. If you take your coins from a very distinctive coin purse that you've obviously purchased at a magic store, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. Same thing if you have your, what's the other one? The sponge balls that don't exist anywhere else outside of a magic shop. You can't buy that. You can't go to Home Depot and buy sponge balls. For what purpose? You're cleaning a very small saucer? Come on, be better. Now I can do it. 7.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
I have to remind myself which shortcut it is. I also found this shirt in my closet, by the way. This is a terrible shirt. Arthur. It's too tight. I don't know why I bought this. I don't know when I bought this. But it's Arthur as some sort of hipster. Arthur is one of my favorite cartoons just because he's a real OG soft A. You know what I'm saying? He's a soft A, and I like that. And it's covered under the context of a child's cartoon. But he gets aggressive, man. Stu Batman says oxymoron. I guess oxymoron said something. The irony of anybody in this chat talking about grown men. That is true. That is true. And I guess the self-awareness is palpable in that particular comment. I use Chinese coins as a weird prop. I don't give a fuck, though. That is true, and I think we had a conversation about that. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan personally, right? And neither is the author of that particular blog. I agree with him for good reason. I think if you're trying to, maybe if it's like a gig, right? If it's something where you're a magician, it's known that a performer is coming along doing stuff. Makes sense, right? But if you're just there at a Starbucks and you go, oh, what do you do? You're a magician? All right, perfect. Hold on to this. Great. What'd you put in my hand? Why is there pubic hairs on it? And also, I don't know if you've, obviously you have sponge balls because you don't know the shape of a vagina. That's a joke I put in one of my videos. You see what I'm doing? You don't know the shape of a vagina. But in me showing you what I think the shape is, it shows you that I don't know what the shape is. You see, it's a meta. Sponge balls are hard to store and hard to travel with, per se. I guess that's the better term. They're gonna collect everything. They're almost magnets for pubic hairs and lint. So if you put them in your pocket, you're gonna have this disgusting, dingy thing, and it's gonna take the color of the lining of your pocket. So if you have a black lining, a POC lining in your pocket, it's gonna take that color if you put it in and take it out constantly. So you're going to have to deal with that, and you have this dirty, disgusting... So then what's the alternative? Now you have to put them in a case. Now you have a case for your magic sponge balls?
Be better. Be better. Be better.
Be better. Be better. I can't wait for the sponge ball holder to be sold by Vanishing Ink. Or I'm trying to think of a company that would sell that. I don't think Illusionist would sell a sponge ball holder. It seems like a Vanishing Ink sort of thing to have like this perfectly good thing that you could just have on your belt, that you could just produce the sponge balls at a whim by pressing this thing. I feel like they're more inclined to do that. Big Hand says, I commented on your video about magicians sharing too much for free. What's your take on that? Magicians sharing too much for free. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that in a sense of like tutorials. I do tend to agree. I do think some people, especially someone like Lloyd Barnes, sharing his stuff for free is a little bit ridiculous because his stuff is stuff that he could sell. I think Craig Petty made a good mention of that is stuff that he could sell easily. $20 a pop, and people would buy it, especially if he manufactures the props or if he goes through the trouble of that. People would buy that shit, and each one of those videos that he's making is potentially a prop that he could sell. The Tic Tac thing, the deck vanishing, right? These are all ridiculous things. So I guess in that case, yeah, he is giving way too much for free. You need the Fontaine Arthur deck to match. I hope that's not a thing. I don't want to look it up because I don't want to get upset at the possibility of having an Arthur Fontaine deck. Ugh. It's been a while since I had a coin purse, but I could see having one for the laundromat and car wash. Have a wallet, man. Have a wallet. In your wallet, every wallet has space that you could put coins in. And also change, it's also like cash. A friend of mine carries hundreds of dollars on him all the time. I'm like, dude, if somebody steals your wallet, they won the lotto. They won the temporary lotto, because imagine, you have a thing. Nobody carries cash. Credit cards you could cancel immediately. So why would you go through and then you pay cash? You got to get change back. Now you have coins. Having coins on you is a very antiquated thing, but you could put them in your wallet. Most wallets have little coin slots in it. If not, you could just put it in the thing, right? I could put it next to the Viagra in my wallet, and it's there. It's just there. Coins could go there. You don't have to have a leatherette sleeve. And the problem with that, of course, is that I'm saying that with the context of regular coins. I know that people spend $300 on custom coins, right? They spend on these $50 that are perfectly smooth, so you could do all your little moves. I know people spend that, and you don't want to put that in your pocket and or a wallet because it's gonna scuff the coins. But it's their coins. They're coins. If you're spending that much on coins, I think you have other problems. Let's see. It's not so weird. We do have some weird stuff in our pockets, but never seen anybody with a coin purse. That is true. Nobody has ever, at least that I've seen, as ever. Obviously, magicians do. But I can't recall in the real planet, last time I was at maybe at a Target or a Walgreens or something, and somebody goes, oh, hold up, let me, how much is that? $17.50? Okay. And they take out the little coin and they give them 50 cents. I can't imagine that. I've never seen that in person. Not even old ladies. And Lord knows there are too many of them. I want to take what's that movie where they kill the old people by 70? They throw them off the cliff midsummer. Spoiler alert. I think we should partake in that particular law. We should take that law for ourselves and implement that rather in the official constitution. My goodness, I'm off today. I don't know what it is. I think I need more of this. It could be dehydration. I've spent the past hour looking up how to make a DIY pull-up bar. If anybody has some insight, I'm thinking of getting pipes, potentially steel pipes, and then connecting them. So you need the pipes, you need the connectors, and then obviously having a base so that it doesn't just fall over. But I'm thinking steel pipes. I'm also trying to be very cheap, so I don't know if that's going to be best. I know people have done it with wood, that they put two wooden things in the ground and then they stick a metal pipe between it with some little things that hold it. I've seen that. I don't know if I want to do that. I'd rather have a whole structure, but I don't know. I never had a father to teach me the intricacies of different DIY projects, so alas, I have to reach out to the pig cunt community. All you need is a deck of cards and 5 coins to perform miracles. That is true, and that is the pin of shame. Yep, you get the pin of shame. I need to put a reminder to myself so that I need to make the thing of the, what do you call this? I'm actually retarded today. I need to put the thing so that when it comes up and somebody earns a pin of shame, I put the little thing, and it shows up like a little graphic saying pin of shame or pin of glory. In this case, you got the pin of shame for what has to be the most virgin-y chat message I've ever seen. Most people don't even have old school dad wallets. People use money clips because they wear skinny jeans. Well, mine is a little pig card holder, and you could put coins in that. You could even put it in the small ones, right? You could put some change in that, some specialty coins that you had to order from a fucking dude that milled $300. Come on. I have to just
Be better. Be better.
be a better person. Sheesh, the delay is awful. I don't know what it is here. I was going through it. Maybe that is that you put it and I just saw that particular comment. It's not that the comment went through now. Damn it, Piggy. We've been over this. Already read that one. Isn't it more what you do with the prop? That is true. And that's the small dick energy that I like to provide to women. That it's not the prop, it's what you do with the prop. It's not the sponge balls. It's what you do with the sponge balls. A gun, if I put a gun on the table, it can't just do anything. It can't commit an act of violence. I have to actively pick it up, right? And cap a fool. Bust a cap in a fool. I have to do that myself. So it's the prop. Same thing with my penis. I can't just, it doesn't matter. It's what I do with it, right? I could have a massive goiter of a penis, and it's not going to matter if I don't know how to use it. That's, again, small dick energy things that I tell the ladies. We do have some updates. I know that I in the past streams, there's a couple bits that we've gone through. Let me see if I could smoothly transition here. But apparently there's been a crack in the case as to these New York City aliens that robbed a group of teenagers. This video is pretty gross, I gotta say. I should also have like a not safe for work thing, like a little not safe for work thing. This might be it, just because of gross, just the drunkenness. Ugh. I'm sure there's duty streaks on those green alien leotards. Let me transition here. Right, but a couple days ago, or maybe a week ago, some green alien leotard wearing individuals robbed someone at pretty much a normal day in New York City, right? It's very easy to say, whoa, this is gross. I can't believe they did that. But then it's also just as easy to say, you live in New York, right? This is part of it. This is what you signed up for. This is what you pay $6,400 of rent a month for a shitty apartment. And here is a similar vibe. Right here, you could kind of see some potential suspects.
I'm reporting live with Emily, Tay, and Mimi. Aye. So boom, pow.
Yeah, so I was wondering, right? Did they go to the subway with the intent to rob somebody? Was there this was their disguise? Maybe they thought, oh, we're not going to show up to the camera. No, they just went out dressed this way. So allegedly, these are the people that robbed the teenagers in a what do you call this? In a subway car. Jesus, in a subway car. Could you imagine? Right, the balls. But I guess in New York you could do it. And apparently this is the account of the mom of one of the people that got busted. But ill, dude, just a sloppy drunkenness. I have such an unboner right now.
Question of the day is, listen. Wait, listen. So the question of the day is, what? You cheating on your husband or snitching on your best friend? I'm cheating on that. A few moments later.
Attacking and...
Hey, man, it's your boy, Maui Jane. I'm Maui Jane. I'm reporting live with... Emily.
And it's also the dudes that, Yo, hi, what's your body count? What's your body count? Come on, man. So at least they put some faces to these aliens that went and robbed those individuals. Kind of gross. Very nasty, I would say. Not a fan of that. And just the sloppy drunkenness. There's nothing I hate more than sloppy drunk bitches. And that seems to be the case there. Hi, PigCake. We float from down here on Twitch. What's up, my dog? My soft A. Weavy Wonderbrooks, you are a groomer magician. Most magicians don't even wash their hands, but you have a haircut. Well, I have my hair tied back. I did trim my face and shape it, but I need to shape it because I have some sort of thing tomorrow. Weavy Stunderbrooks, are you the person that made this post on Reddit in regards to the magic blog? Is that you? Is that your account, your throwaway account? I feel like it is. I feel like I have sufficient evidence to prove that is in fact you trolling on Reddit. Did you see the British celebration in Mexico? It was so funny, out of touch. I have not seen that. No, that's such a specific thing. I do not support homophilia. Jesus. Hey, at least I got a notification today. It just came 30 minutes late. Do you not have one of the door suitable? Oh, you're talking about the pull-up bar. Okay, do you not have? I do have one of those, but unfortunately the doors here don't have a little ledge that I could hook them on. So I was postulating as to the possibility of creating my own pull-up bar with the structure of the beams and doing it myself. Here, the doors don't have that, so I can't put it. I've tried. I'm just going to fall down because there's nothing to grip onto. So what I thought was either there are some jail methods, by the way. There are some jail methods that I looked up where you put a towel, you tie a knot on the towel, and I guess this is a good way to show you. So you have the door here, right? You get a towel, you put a knot in it, you put it on the other side, and you close the door, and now you just grip yourself to do some pull-ups. So that makes me feel like I'm about to get the dick by an appropriate inmate, but it is an effective way of doing it. So I don't know if that's a way of doing it. Gotta go. That's funny. So you got called out. Gotta go. Bye. I didn't even know we're celebrating Mexico. That's how out of touch I am as a Brit. Well, you guys are very progressive in that you celebrate other countries. You know, you don't celebrate this right here. You don't celebrate the States. There's nothing you do over there that's celebratory of the United States. And if I was to cast my vote, I would say, let's go back. Let's go back and take it over. I want the UK for ourselves. I want that as the 51st states. Give you guys a decent accent. I think we would throw people from the Midwest over there, sprinkle it in, and hopefully after a couple generations, get some decent verbiage over there. I hate the terms. I've mentioned this in a previous stream. Sawed off. Hope you achieve a Dorito physique with that bar. Gotta go. Please don't celebrate Mexico. It's offensive. Did you know an old British lady on YouTube that tried to make tacos and it was just tuna cooked in sour cream, no tortilla? Well, I've had my take on Mexican food that I've had arguments with here before on other streams is that I'm not a fan. Everything is shit. You have to either fry it or you have to put so much hot sauce on it to cover the taste of shitty food, right? You have a good foundation of Latin American food like Cuban cuisine, right? Where you put some pork in there, you get some rice, some beans, everything is good. You got that chicken that they slather that chicken. You got the Cuban bread, right? Tremendous cuisine. And then you got the Mexican food with the soft shell tacos that you eat and everything's falling on your lap. Great, very good structural rigidity on your food that every time I eat a taco, it's going to spill everywhere. So might as well put another tortilla down. So when I eat the taco, the spill spills on that taco. Now I have another taco. Might as well do that, right? Now I have to implement a life hack in order to partake in my food. And your flautas and your little, chamoy and mole sauce and all the other stuff, it's shit, right? It's shit. I've gone some real Mexican places. Daniel took me to one. As a matter of fact, not so long ago, or maybe 2 years ago now, Jesus. Where I was fearing for my life. I thought I was going to get shot because of the location. And the women that worked there didn't give a shit. They were watching TV. Oh, ¿qué tú quieres? Like, what do you want? I guess I want the number 16, right? There's like 47 options to get, and it's all the same thing. It's deep fried bits of stuff that they dip in hot sauce to cover the taste of awful food. So I'm not a huge fan of Mexican cuisine. Hi, PigCake. What can I do if I want to sell a product on your website? I don't know if I have the ability to sell products on the website. My website is pretty bare bones. It's, hey, here's the academy, right? The PigCake Magic Academy. Hey, here is my YouTube channel. It's very bare bones. I don't have the capacity. Although when I do come up with the deck, I might do it through Daniel's store. I think I'm going to do it through, Daniel's probably going to end up being the person that does that for me. But I don't know. I don't know how that would go about. That is an interesting question, though. We may not celebrate any America, but we do get a lot of American history in school where Americans only learn about when we attack them. That is true, right? There's not any sort of mention as to the, when we're together, like that famous gif of Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie where he grabs the other guy and they both flex. It's none of that. It's always, hey, do you remember when you guys came over, when all of us came over here to the States, colonized, and then said, hey, what the fuck? Why are we being taxed so much? And then we had conflict amongst ourselves. So technically, I mean, we're all you guys. We just separated. We said no right here. So we're a part of you. Piggy has only ever been to Taco Bell. Yeah, I go to this very exclusive Mexican place. It's very nice. There's about 18 million of them in the city. Very authentic. The Mexican pizza, not a fan of that. What's the other one here? I know that I had a couple other bits. Men News is the title of this video. And the reason for that is because I found an account. This is a fairly TikTok-heavy episode. But this is the sort of news that I could get behind. Thank you for that. Thank you for jumping on the fucking audio there. But this is the sort of news that I could get behind, right? Every bit and every news organization has this, just the worst, right? It doesn't matter whatever side is. You turn it on and it's some dumb shit about some dumb shit that's irrelevant. This is the sort of news we need more of, right? Man News, and it's riveting. This is what I would consider, this is very human news. So let's go and show you what I'm talking about. I would vote yes on this, for sure.
We have these two bulges of water at the bottom of this terracotta pot coming together like Moses just passed through there. Look as they approach slightly closer.
Are you sure that's not like a resin?
No, it is just water.
But the viscosity.
Trust me, it is.
It does look thick.
Look as they're coming together now, reuniting.
Wow. Okay, I guess you're right.
I told you, fall for more minutes. If you're just joining
I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps from that. That's amazing. I love that. That's the sort of news we need more of. Two little bits of water on TikTok. One of the trends is this is for the boys, and it's people smashing bits of ice. There's nothing more fascinating than seeing a sheet of ice just fall down and break in a million pieces, right? You see the different shapes. This is the sort of news that I could fall behind. Let's see what the latest one here is. Actually, no, let me watch this one. Man News.
I'm telling you, they've done it. Yo, Drew, hear me out.
No, I will not hear you out, okay? This man is taking a balloon, cutting part of it off, and putting it over top of this jar.
Isn't it the bounciest surface in the world?
I mean, it is a huge claim, but it might be.
That's very bouncy.
It's like watching a miniature version of what those Australian guys are yelling about. Just, 3, 2, 1. Right? This is the...
I see what you're saying, but...
I don't think girls would ever understand that. I don't think any girl would ever understand the fascination of these things. Let's see this one here.
There's no way this is CGI. Okay?
Oh, no, it's too good to be true.
This is real. Look, this is a satisfying... Fall for more minutes.
Let's see what the men think.
How sharp is that? My goodness.
There's no way this is CGI.
Look at this.
This is real. Look, this is a satisfying...
Hold up. Let me turn this guy off. He's kind of being annoying. I like the what he's doing. I just don't like the way he's doing it. Look at that. What? He doesn't even put pressure with the knife. This is definitely news I could get behind. There's a sort of stuff that I would like to get updates for. What's this one? Okay, he's just, I guess they're crossing something. They're cutting a cake. Yeah, that's kind of terrible. You know what? I think this was awful. I apologize profusely for that. I like the intent there. I don't like the execution. But that's the sort of stuff we could get on. That's the stuff we could get on, right? Little things like weather patterns and clouds, how belts are made. Have you ever thought of that? How a belt is made? I wonder that all the time. You have this thing that fits essentially perfectly, universal fit things. I love that. Friendly reminder to sharpen your knives, guys. I feel like they say the sharper the knife, the safer it is. Not with that one. Not with that one. I feel like there's some leeway. I get that you with the IKEA knives that I use, you have to put your whole body weight on that motherfucker to cut. But with those, it's safer because you don't have to put as much pressure. No, because then you're doing the same thing, and then guess what? Your finger's out. Now you don't have a finger. So is it really that much safer, you fuck? It's better a clean cut from a sharp knife than a jagged cut from a dull knife. You know, I could say that. That is true. A little bit of hypocrisy there. Because I just touted defending the dull knife. But I have been in many instances where you kind of put pressure there, and then you kind of spike your hand, and now you're upset. And another thing that we do as men, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I've punched inanimate objects, angry at them for existing, right? So you stub your toe on a table, you fucking hit it. Maybe the door I think is the worst one. When you have a door close on your finger or maybe pinch your skin, there's nothing that makes me want to go harder through a door. Let me see if I could actually find this video and show you exactly what I want to do to a door. I was very disappointed to find out that this was just a crummy, shitty door that was made as a studio, but it's a Rampage Jackson, a notable MMA fighter, just punching through a door. Let me see. There you go. And in HD for your viewing pleasure. Let's go to this one here. This right here just makes me feel happy. Not this ad. Let's see what this ad is that I'm watching. It's probably some politician. I'm glad you guys aren't seeing this. I'm seeing Marco Rubio, right? He looks like he's, they got him in a very unfortunate light. And then it goes back to this lady and she looks very well lit. Very well lit. This is what I want to do. Now, in my memory, this was way more impressive than what it actually ended up being, right? In my memory, it was a real door, and he fucking karate kicked right through it, right? That was my memory. This is where it would end. I did not recall when he punched through it that it is literally made out of cardboard. I didn't remember that when I would recall this piece of footage in my head. It's one of the best. Right? It's so satisfying to watch. Just a man in frustration. Let me see what starts it off. Obviously, he's heated walking to the door. Let's see the context. Maybe that might provide a little bit of what's going on. Okay, he's upset. Awful 90s rock music. Okay, so he's already upset coming at the door. He's not upset at the door, which is where I would be. I'd be upset at the door for making the mistake of closing itself on me. Okay? He opens the door and immediately proceeds to completely decimate the door. You know? Now, here's the thing about this too, right? The door, this still has to be very impressive. I don't care if it's cardboard inside. Because it still has to have the structural rigidity to act as a door, right? Look at that. There's a doorknob. That doorknob has some screws in it, so it still has to have some structural rigidity. So for him just to elbow through the door, and then I believe he rips it. Look at that. He just rips it. Now, I'm here considering doing prison pull-ups with my door, and I'm wondering, is that door the same? Like, is it going to have this weird IKEA honeycomb thing inside of it? Look at that. Let's see what he does with it. He just throws it and goes inside. Yeah, man. I've been there. I think we've all been there mentally. Clothes hangers. I remember I got my finger caught in a clothes hanger. No, took it off, broke it. That's right. I told that plastic, that piece of shit plastic, who's boss. That's a cheap door. You could tell by how it breaks. That's the most, I think that's the most intensive scientific rhetoric I've seen in this chat. You must be a scientist for making that observation. But yes, it does seem like these shitty, like they just built that in a day just to make it seem like they have a back offices or whatnot for that particular show. But even then, I think I had a table that was made by the same thing, that sort of honeycomb, and it has this weird thin layer of wood. And I remember punching through that for a dumb reason. Obviously, there's never a good reason why you would punch through furniture, but it was pretty rough. It was hard to get through. Right, it wasn't an easy thing to punch. So if it's the same thing, that weird corrugated IKEA cardboard, if it's that with the wood, that's still pretty rough to get through. I'm not saying it's impossible. Obviously, he's an MMA fighter, and if he wanted to, he could punch his fist straight through my face without much effort. But I was still very impressive. And in my memory, I still want to hold it as, no, Rampage Jackson approached the door and then decimated the door. He just ripped it without any effort whatsoever. That's what I want to remember. Not that it was a shitty one. Beat the crap out of the door, showed it who's boss, right? What were those swords in Kill Bill called? Katana, Hattori Hanzo. Here's how you could tell the virginity. Is there's a different layers of virginity. If you could do a card trick and you have the ability to tell different types of swords, I feel like that's deep virginity. That's too deep. You want to get pulled out. Looks like some WWE shit. It does. It does. It looks like one of those doors with because they have segments in WWE where they throw somebody through a wall, right? And then you look at the wall and you realize, oh, it's made out of like not even sheetrock. It's like a thin balsa wood, maybe, I guess would be the wood that they use, which is still, it looks structural. But if you do this, it breaks. Not, I believe they make magic tables out of those, the floating tables. Not to be too virgin-y. Let's see him do that with a fire door. Break his hands and feet. Yeah, that would be dumb. And these, I feel, are very easy to bust. So whenever you punch something in that, you're going to have just the worst. If you're not going to bust your knuckle, you're going to have some form of long-lasting pain because of the tardation that you had at being angry at something that was made in a factory. So I fall into that. I fall and prey to that mentality before. I gotta say I would vote no on it now. But you're in the moment, man. You can't control it, especially when something just peed you out, right? And you see a door there and it's looking all blue, and you just want to fucking show the door who's boss. And you're Rampage Jackson, who I believe has a chain with a lock on it. That's what he would wear to the ring, and I'm fully convinced that he's capable of ripping that off of him if he felt like it. Let's see. I could tell you all the fighting styles in Kill Bill with or without weapons. That is a lot of virginity. That is true. Warren LaPrince says, what is the size of my dick? Well, my dick is, I think, fairly normal, right? If I have to go into comparisons, as I mentioned before, I saw a penis picture that I took maybe 10 years ago, just backing up some old pics. And it's probably the only one, right? I'm not a fan of the thought of sending somebody a penis picture, but it's a normal-sized penis, man. It's a normal, everyday penis. It's not a crazy penis. It's not a small penis, right? I'm happy about that. That the genetics, even though I got the height, maybe it just looks good because of the comparison to the body, and it's normally a very small pecker. But I wouldn't know. I haven't seen other penis to compare it to, right? In person, obviously. I'm glad that I don't have a friend group that they just take their dicks out, right? They're not that sort of friend group that's like, oh, hey, man, and they just piss in front of you. I'm glad. I'm glad that that's the case, and I haven't seen any of their penises. But it's a fairly normal penis size, right? It's not a crazy, oversized penis. It's not an undersized penis. It's a comfortable penis. I'm happy with my penis. I know a lot about you, like why you're watching this ad, and it's specifically because you've looked up magic tricks. Well, hey there, my name's PigCake, and I've been doing magic trick tutorials on YouTube for the better part of 6 years. And I'm here to tell you about the PigCake Magic Academy with over 1,200 videos already uploaded, designed to make you an expert magician. You get access to all the content the moment you sign up, and I'm uploading every single week. As a matter of fact, I uploaded a video today. Just look at that list of moves, tricks, ideas that you're gonna get access to the moment you sign up. It doesn't end. As a matter of fact, I could stop talking completely, and the list is still gonna keep going. Just look. Membership tab. So check it out, the PigCake Magic Academy. The link is going to be below. I go with you, but I'm stuck in this video. But I'll wait for you to go ahead and click it. Go ahead, you know you want to. Hey there, I realized the microphone's on the entire time, so I'm here talking to myself based on emails that I was just reading. And you could hear me, right? Thank God I didn't say anything that could potentially have, I would say, maybe, be used against me, right? Rules I follow to this day. The philosophy when using a urinal is don't talk to me when I have my weenus in my hands. That is true. That is true. I'm not a fan of that sort of culture. You walk into a bathroom and people are talking to each other on the stall. No, come on. Or in the urinal. And then also the urinal. I'm not a urinal guy. The stall is king. Some people have some thoughts against that. No, the stall is king. You go to the stall, it's your own little private office. You're in there, you can do whatever you want. I like to dab myself with cologne. I like to maybe clean off the tip, right, with some toilet paper. Make sure you don't get those last little dribbles. All right, you're in there, you're good. You could compose yourself. And then especially the handicap one. Because the handicap one, first of all, I would never resort to shitting in public. I'm not a fan of being a public shitter. But you have the handles, so you get the grip strength of that, right? That's one thing that you have advantage. That's the That's the one thing that's advantageous of the handicap stall. Also, they usually have a sink. They usually have a mirror, so you could look at yourself. And if you're hammered, you could compose yourself and say, "No, you gotta get through this. You gotta get through this, buddy." So that's one, right? That's one thing. The urinal, there's so much that could happen, especially the ones that don't have dividers, and you're just there. No, thank you. And what's worse is that you could have. Let me see if I could illustrate this. Which has happened, right? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Maybe I need to have a zoom, right? But let's pretend that these are the urinals, right? We have 4 urinals. I don't know if you're going to be able to see those with the glare, but we have 4 urinals, right? If this one is taken, you need to go here, right? You can't use this one. If more than 3 people are on the urinal at any given time, you have to wait. You're not going to take the empty one because that's gross. You're going to have people on either side of you, right? And for me personally, if there are more than 2 people, let's say there are 4 urinals and there are 2 people using the urinals, I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to hold it in. What? Oh, yeah, great. Now I have to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that. I shake it off with people there. And then if it's at a bar and they're drunk, they want to have conversation. No, thank you. I don't want to talk to you while holding my penis. There are better times to have conversation, and this is not it. Let's see. Piggy uses the king size stall, aka the big handicap stall, all the way to the right. That is true. I try to use that. I find that you don't have, especially the bars that I go to, handicapped people don't go to the bars. Right now, there is a possibility that they might, but it's never happened in all the years I've gone to different bars. So when you get to that stall and you're using it, you know, it's your little office, right? You're there to compose yourself. You could splash some water in your face. Magic for Beginner says, "Hi, Mr. Cake." Thank you for that. That is, in fact, my legal name. It's not true. I feel like if I were to say my legal name, it would probably put me higher up on the FBI watch list. On the FBI watch list. See what I did there. One hand, I know one color change. You guys are talking about color changes, so the virginity is deep. My wife says my penis is so big, but I think it's small. Maybe she's lying to me to make me feel better. Well, the one thing that you could do, but it would probably end up ruining the relationship, and it's the most toxic place on earth. So once you look at it, you can never go back. And that is your significant other's group chat. Every single person with a vagina is part of a group chat. Doesn't matter if they have significant others. It doesn't matter who they are, what they look like. It doesn't matter where they're from. They're going to be a part of a group chat, right? These are disgusting cesspools. You never want to see a group chat from the person of the opposite. I would say female group chat. I think men are pretty easy, right? Every time I'm part of a group chat, I mute it. I'm not a fan of all the notifications. I'm not a fan of getting 20,000 beepy beeps on my phone just because somebody said lol, because 4 people said lol, right? No, thank you. I don't want that. And they're very tame, right? They're never gross. There's never penasia. I know some people are a fan of, oh, look, here's poop bits, right? Poop humor. I'm not a fan of that, right? But the females one is disgusting. And if you read through that, I'm sure it'll be a very humbling experience. So if you ever want to find out if you are, in fact, of adequate size, you could just easily go through the group chat and see what they're talking about, because they do talk about it, right? I've always said privately that when you have relations with a person, you're not just having relations with them, you are essentially fucking the group chat. That's what you're doing. So you got to make sure that you perform, not just for her, but perform so that when inevitably the tail of your performance is being talked about in the group chat, it's your reviews are 5-star, right? Like, oh yeah, Yelp 5-star reviews on this guy, vote yes on this. That's what you want. You don't want to have you don't want the group chat to be laughing at you, right? And then going, he's good, he tries. You don't want that. You don't want that. So some advice from a virgin magician. My wife's in a wheelchair, so I get to use the disabled toilets a lot. So much better than normal bogs. Yeah, I would say they're OP. They're OP even for handicapped people, I would say. Thank God I'm a virgin and there's no group chats. That is, you have to be a part of one. You have to be a part of one. I think that unfortunately now in modern time, people think, oh, it's a very easy way to communicate with people in the boys, right? In the boys. And then you have a group chat. I mute it every time. Not a fan of it. But I have taken peeks at females group chats and they're disgusting. It's like female bathrooms. It's like girl bathrooms are way worse than male bathrooms. You would assume, oh yeah, man, it's gonna smell like shit in there. No, male bathrooms are relatively clean. People tend to pick up after themselves, whereas female bathrooms, is chaos in there. There's stuff that you see, of various fluids, right? You smell it. There's just chaos at all times. Especially at a bar, there's always some drunk bitch that's just taking a fat one while her friend is there on Instagram while they're drinking. It's gross. The female bathroom culture is disgusting. And their group chats are even more disgusting. They're equivalent, as a matter of fact. They're equivalent to the female bathroom. So if you ever want to find out, just take a gander. Take a little peek, right? Let me go through here. Magicians always use the bathroom stall. That's who's using all the graffiti, because who else has all the Sharpies on them? Good observation. And I did see a post on Facebook recently as to a magician complaining about the glamour of a magician that's working. And he has to essentially prepare himself in a stall. Like, he has to do all the stuff, and he has to go and reset all the stuff in a stall. So that is probably somebody, if it is like a restaurant with a house magician, they're probably going to take up one stall just to prepare their sponge ding-dongs ready for their walk-around set. I could do a one-handed double lift. How many one-handed color changes do you know? Only one. Only one, really. All right, let me see if... to be virginity. I guess we've talked about a lot of virginity here, so might as well. But one-handed color change, I don't even know if it's going to look good. But there's this one. Fuck. Right? Fuck. There's this one, right, which is kind of rough to do. And then you could kind of show it. I've always hated that one, per se. I've never been a fan of that one. There's also this one, which is also pretty rough to do. Right, you need a deck to deposit that card in, but that's a fun one, right? You could show the card, and then as you spin it one more time, it changes, right? That's pretty virgin-y. But this one, I've actually never gotten it right. I always manage to flash at the worst spot. I'm sure there's a technique to it that makes it better. I'm sure if you're doing it from hand to hand, it probably looks better, but to do it one hand is kind of annoying. Look at that.
In that, it was done.
Let's see if I could do the whole thing. Stop. All right, so you do that, and then you could catch it, right? And then you still have this there. A lot of virginity there. I apologize in advance for that virginity. But alas, this is a magic channel, and I have to admit that I am a magic virgin. So this is part and parcel of what I've signed up for. Maybe the bathrooms are terrible because you're hanging out too often in places where the women are unmarriageable. That is true. I feel like that's the case, though, unfortunately, everywhere. Even at a bathroom at a I don't know, at a well-established place like a Cheesecake Factory, right? You would assume that a Cheesecake Factory, you could find a potential wife there. No, I'm willing to bet that the bathrooms there for females are probably as disgusting as I'm describing them. I remember that was an issue with the school when I used to work at the school, that one of the concerns, or I asked the cleaning ladies, I'm like, yo, the fucking bathrooms must be nasty. And they would tell me the ones that are the grossest are the girls' bathrooms, believe it or not. And I've heard horror stories of the boys' bathrooms, just dudes doing dumb stuff in there, but they were telling me overwhelmingly throughout the years the girls' bathroom is the nastiest, which I have to imagine in a high school that's the case for sure. Let's see. I think women have these chats because they think we Hold up. I think women have these chats because they think we do when we actually don't as much as they think. Okay, that was hard to get to be honest. That was hard to get through. I'm going to give you a car crash for that one. Usually I don't like giving car crashes to people, but I feel like that was a pretty car crash comment. Let me go back through here. Dumping out that line of thought was a pro-level move, says Larry Isley. I guess talking about something before. I guess we're talking about, oh yeah, the dude smashing through it. No real Mexicans go to Florida. That is true. That is true. Although the weird part is when you go North Florida, so northern Florida, past I would say Orlando and north, it's now the same as the rest of America, right? And in America, the rest of it, there's no distinction between Latin origin. So you're just all Mexican. So there's no, oh, you're Cuban or Puerto Rican. You're Mexican. So that's you're immediately grouped in. And I'm like, no, I'm not Mexican. I have taste when it comes to food. There's distinction when it comes to my women. I've mentioned before, Mexican women are either 10s or 0s. There's no in between. There's no, wow, she's like a 7. No, 10 or 0. The most beautiful person you've seen in your life, or your abuela. That's essentially what you're dealing with when it comes to Mexican women. With Cuban women, there's nuance. There's a little bit of nuance, right? There's a little bit of play there. Not with Mexican women. But unfortunately, you go past Orlando, you are no longer either Puerto Rican, Cuban, Colombian, Venezuelan. It doesn't matter. You are now labeled as Mexican. That's the way it works. I don't know why. That's the stereotype. But alas, it's what they know. The whiteys. Let's see here. Let me go through. I feel bad for people with micro penises. There is a website that I frequent on occasion called eFucked, right? It's one of my favorite funny porn websites. It's not really a porn website, but it is a humor website that involves lots of grotesque pornography. And one of the things that's highlighted is micro penises. And I got to tell you, that is a rough life to have. That is a rough life to have. And if you want to imagine what it looks like, just imagine a regular penis, but not. Just enough to pee. That's pretty much what they are. And God bless them. God bless them, because they need all the love. Magic Orthodoxy says, I'm a whitey. You know, Dave, I do have a question, right? I have this investigation, and maybe you are probably the person that would be good to ask, right? But somebody in a comment, and I mentioned this in a couple streams ago, somebody in a comment mentioned that there was a magician that did reviews that got bullied out of doing them, right? I believe the magician's the channel was The Magic Kit, right? Fairly attractive female. And the understanding that I had from the comment that was subsequently deleted is that somebody bullied her. A magician bullied her out of doing videos. And I've been trying to investigate, trying to find out, because that seems like a good topic. So I feel like you would be a good bearer of information, a good fountain of information for that, rather. Go to Barnes & Nobles for women. I've heard Target is also another place. Target, the cheat code is apparently Target. The candle and wine section at like 9:30 at night on a Sunday is a good place, right? Because, you know, no shoddy in a relationship going to Target at 9:30 by herself, right? No way. So, oh, hey, whoa, sorry to run into you. I see you're buying candles there. Sorry, I just want to smell the candle. What candle would you recommend? Oh, can I start over? Oh, yeah, it's hot in here, right? What candle should I get? And then immediately you're neck deep. You're neck deep. So that's all it takes. It's her comments. I don't remember what it said. Somebody posted that to one of her videos. Okay. So I have to look that up. That seems to be a good rabbit hole to fall under, because somebody mentioned that in a video that I did, and then they deleted the comments. So I'm like, why would you're just teasing me. You're teasing me with stuff here. And I didn't see any information on it. Same with redheads, Piggy. So redheads are either 10 or 0s. I feel like Indian women, I'm a huge fan of Indian women. I think it might be the combination of beautiful skin, the hair, the exotic look. But it's the same thing with them. Yes, they're either 10s or zeros, no in between. Right? You have like a little gremlin, or you have a wonderful, beautiful model that you want to spend the rest of your life with. There's no like, wow, man, 8, good for her. Good for her. There's none of that. Let me see, go through here. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all the comments. It is Friday, so I do want to get through the comments here. I sent her a box of product to review, and then the next day she was gone forever. I just want to know. I guess it is a little bit harder in that space, right? Because the comments that I saw are pretty gross. Like, oh, my queen. I was like, so you think that somebody's going to look at the comment that says my queen and go, whoa, I'm somebody's queen? Now I have to find them. There's no one. It's the same thing with honking your horn at a shoddy, or scrolling through TikTok and seeing some, fine piece, and seeing all the comment sections are like, oh, beautiful. Oh my God, so gorgeous. Oh my God. Nobody's gonna look at the comment and go, whoa, did somebody call me? I have to find them. I have to find them and be with them sexually. Not the way it works. So that's an odd thing that I keep seeing. But the comments were reflective of that sort of type. People say they're so against bullying until it's time to cancel someone. Funny, right? Funny how that works, right? Interesting. Let's see here. Hope it wasn't me that caused her to leave. I mean, you never know what could set somebody off, right? However, just looking at the stuff, trying to go through, obviously, doesn't seem like that's the case. But from my understanding, it said a magic reviewer. And maybe it could be our buddy. Maybe it could be our buddy Unbiased. Magic reviewers, for all I know. That's another rabbit hole that I've gone down. Can't see video. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you can't see the video. Let me see that. I always double check because I'm traumatized. But I could definitely see the video. And it's not a good one. It's not a good one today. I feel like today's stream was pretty rough. I apologize in advance. The previous streams were pretty good. I don't know what it is today specifically. Maybe I did eat some bad cauliflower rice. Magic Orthodoxy says, you're my queen. I appreciate that. Manel, who's a very known character here in the stream, he sent me a Queen of Hearts with my likeness on it. And I would say I'd hit it. I had very voluptuous breasts. And if I were to make myself into a female, I would hit that particular individual. So I could potentially be a queen in that capacity. Same as going through Anna's comments. Some horrible people. Yeah, right? Some gross people. Terrible people in those comments. And then you look, and then they're all, every picture, liked by PigCake. Although I've never commented and said, yo, what's up, shoddy? Hey, girl. Damn, man. Yo, you know what? You need more of? You need more of this right here. This is what you need more of. Right? I've never done that. But I like your picture. Right? It's a little double tap. Right? I shouldn't. Even that's giving you unnecessary validation from me that you don't need. But those comments are just ugh. And then the thought process, and usually it's just you read them and it's this long, like a paragraph of like, oh, I know you get a lot of these, but I gotta say you're my number one. It's like, oh, and you look at their accounts, and it's some dude, usually an Indian dude, in like a mountainside, like this. Like that. So it's questionable. That or in their bed. I get tagged a lot on Instagram. And I look from time to time, and it's the weirdest post, and it will be a post on like a dude doing this. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. It'll be someone doing like this, right? And then the thing would say, just try my best. Why'd you tag me? Why am I tagged? Why did you have to subject my eyeballs to now having this in my fucking memory? So now I have to think about this. If I look at something and it reminds me of that, that's the first thing that comes to mind now. Why? So those are just odd. I know a bit about what happened to her, but it's not my place to say anything, but it wasn't your fault. It was messed up what happened. One of the reasons I don't communicate with a lot of people in the magic community. Oh, so you do have some insight on that. Okay. Damn. So I was trying to find some stuff. There's always usually magic threads on a magic cafe talking about stuff like that. I couldn't find anything. So that was odd. There are a couple of magic YouTubers that have stopped making videos, and you could see the drama with them, right? You could see the drama and all the back and forth. But it's odd not to have one. It's definitely even weirder when it's a female magician. So it's even weirder in that sense, because typically people like to talk about them more so. So it's interesting, Hane. But I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't want to pull in pride, but it did seem like an interesting rabbit hole to go down, especially because the mysterious nature that somebody, I should have taken a fucking screenshot, but they left a comment and then they just disappeared. I'm like, what the fuck kind of weird cryptic shit is this? Right? What's the weird cryptic shit in this? So I don't know. I think that might be the stream, my friends. I think that might be the stream today. I would say I would give this a rating of a 3 out of 10. I don't think it was a great stream. I apologize. Tomorrow, I was considering not because I have a endeavor, but the endeavor is going to be later. So I will do another stream at 4 o'clock Eastern time, as I have been doing, and my goal is to do one every day. So let's see how long I can keep that streak going. But I feel like it's probably not going to last long. My patience is running very thin, especially when it comes to streams like this. They can't all be bangers, right? They can't be all home runs. You can't just have a home run every day, right? It's not the way it works. You got to have some days where you lose, and today might have been one of those streams, but we'll see. So tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and let me see what bits I could say at the end of the stream. Again, I like giving little bits of advice, little things that you could do. Oh, okay. Here's a life hack. Cologne, right? So there is obviously colognes are gonna last different. There's gonna be differences in how long they last, right? So what you do is that you grab a little bit of Vaseline, right? And you rub it in on your pulse points. You put a little bit of Vaseline, a little bit, because you don't want to look like a greasy monkey, right? And you spray it on the Vaseline, and it's going to last hours. It's going to last hours longer than it would ordinarily, even if you have like a shitty cologne. I have a knockoff of Dior Sauvage called Voyage. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the audacity? And I tried doing a thing, and it lasted 8 hours. God damn, that's what you want. So a little tip, a little Vaseline, spray the pulse points, and the cologne's going to last fairly long. But that is the stream. I would say it's a good thing to remind you that Nancy Pelosi is allegedly partaking in insider trading. That's a good way to end it.